So we continue from part 14. Now we are going to solve the problem we have from the previous section. Sometimes when you are working with scripts, jQuery, Bootstrap, or even your own scripts, you might be having some of these problems. And that's why what I just did to solve this problem was simply to go to the complete application in GitHub and then be able to check that the code is exactly the same. So basically in my application, if I go to the layout page, you have to check that in the heading section of the layout you have this script. This is not this one, but this one. This one, yeah, fine. And in the lower part we have this one and this one. Now Bootstrap bundle adds Bootstrap to your application, including other things like pop-up. So Bootstrap bundle is more like it contains both Bootstrap and other things. And in your index page, where we have the list of items and where we want to display the pop-up, let me shift this one a little bit. Where we want to display the pop-up model, we have the JQuery. So JQuery must be there before you have your script. And in that case, we'll be sure that it's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead to run this application now. And let's see that it displays the pop-up image. And then we continue from there. Alright, so this is where we are, and at this point I'm going to click on patient list. So we have these images, we've talked about it. When I click on one of them, it displays the model with the enlarged image. That is fine. So in this lesson now, in this particular lesson, tutorial 14, we are going to now replace this image with the actual image of the patient. Okay, there are many ways to do this, but let's do it the simple way, where the file name is equal to the ID of the patient, right? So for the pictures to be unique to the patient, you need to have the image names to be unique. In this case, the patient ID, they are integer values 1, 2, 3, and now the pictures should also be named 1, 2, 3, 1.jpg, 2.jpg, and so on. Now this is a simple way, and it's better we go with it because you can even use it this way in a large application. So let's go to follow the procedure because it's right there in my website. So if you go to this is where we are, okay, we need to pass the selected photo to the model. First, we have to display the photos based on particular records that is showing, and there are a number of ways I've told you. For each record, we should append the directory paths to the file name in this way. So we have for each variable in the modal, of course you know the modal is the patient list. Then we have for each we have the image to be the directory item.patientid.jpg, where patient ID is equivalent to the name of the file. Okay, so how does this work? So first I'm going to copy this. I'm going to show you where to put this. So I'm copying this from here. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to this place, to the table. So first I'm going to collapse this. Collapse. Actually, I'm going to collapse the entire table row. Okay, so let me check what I copied. Yeah, perfect. So we have for each item in modal, which is what we already have, we should have the image also. So for each item in the modal, we should have the image of that record here. Alright, so this is the image. Now we have the image, that is fine. And now we want to display this image as src of this, that's src here. So instead of using user.jpg, we want to now use the actual image. Let's see. So the So how the src now is, let's see, href is equal to @image, and the src is also image. So let's go back here. So the href here is going to be @image, image. Let me just take out this one. And the src as well should be as image as well. Alright, so when you click on this button, the src will be set to the image, and also the href attribute will be set to image. So more or less, when you click on it, it anchors to another place, which is the modal. It's going to pass the href across the modal, and the modal is going to capture this href, which is the image, and display it. So if you look at the script we wrote, we have, let me take out this console.log and let me enlarge it a little bit. So we have when the photo button is clicked, prevent default, and then we have the photo modal patient photo.attributes, src attribute of the photo modal in the modal, set it to the href, which is coming from the button, which is actually the image directory, or the image part to the image. So it's going to now be set to the photo inside the modal, and once that is done, the next line says show the modal. And now let me just show you something, because this caused me some problems. When I have the modal, the ID of the modal is ID is equal to photo modal, and the button that is going to launch this modal, also should recognize the modal is going to launch, and the button is, let's see, so it's going to be photo button is the name of this button. It's going to launch the photo modal. Anyway, let's just test it to make sure it works. So I'm going to launch this application, and let's see if it actually works and displays the image of the patient, and then we continue from there. Alright, the application starts up correctly. I'm going to go to patient list, and now we have the image thumbnails displayed, as you can see. Let's now click on any of them, and you can see it displays the thumbnail with the photo enlarged. I'm going to just close. The close button is not working for some reason. I'm going to fix it. And click on another one, it displays correctly. So this is perfectly fine. And at this point, we are done with images. I would like you to do the same for admissions. Okay, we've not linked this. Maybe you'd also do this for yourself. And physicians list is not been linked as well. So correct all these errors for me. I'm going to do the same. And I also like you to use all appointments is not linked. For appointments and for other things, try to use generic image. For instance, the image of a time or a clock. Try to use it for appointments and stuff like that. So for now, we are done with the image, and let's see what we are going to be doing in the next tutorial. So the next one, I'm going to just click on next here. So in the next tutorial, we will be now talking of something really very important. We are going to be talking about identity, that is username, login, registration. Is very interesting and very important for you to know. That's the next class. So I'd like to stop here. I'd like to thank you for viewing. I'd like to also commend you for the effort you put in learning, because if you've come this far, you are doing real great. Remember, I'm always there for you. So remember also to subscribe and leave me a comment or send me an email if you have any challenges. If you want to support me further, buy me a coffee or support me on Patreon or something, as this used to be very motivating for me. I remain Titan the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.